welcome to Beneath the Waves. I am your host, Bart. Here we uncover stories of those who lived in the margins, the pioneers who never got their due, the voices that still echo long after they're gone. Today I bring you a story of a woman whose music was ahead of its time, whose brilliance went unnoticed in her day, and whose mysterious disappearance remains unsolved. This is the story of Connie Converse.
How sad, how lovely, how short, how sweet.
Born Elizabeth Eaton Converse, known as Connie, was born on August 3rd of 1924 in New Hampshire and raised in Concord. She was the daughter of a Baptist minister, growing up in a strict religious household with two brothers as her closest companions. Connie was the definition of a gifted student. She was valedictorian of her high school, winning 8 academic awards, and went on to attend Mount Holyoke College. But something about academia didn't sit right with her. After 2 years, she made a decision that would set the tone for the rest of her life. She walked away from the expected path. In the late 1940s, Connie Converse moved to New York City. Unlike most young musicians who dreamt of stage lights of Broadway or booming jazz clubs, Connie found herself in the intimate smoky rooms of Greenwich Village in Hell's Kitchen. With her guitar in hand, she wrote and performed songs that blended folk, blues, and something else. A deep, personal, introspective style that hadn't yet found a home in any kind of mainstream music. Her music was melancholic, poetic, and eerily ahead of its time. Her lyrics spoke of loneliness, love, and quiet struggles of existence. In a pre-Bob Dylan era, singer-songwriters like her were almost unheard of. But those who heard her knew there was something special about her music. One of those people was Gene Deitch, an artist and recording enthusiast who recorded Connie's songs in his kitchen. Those home recordings, largely unheard of for decades, would later become a foundation of her post-humanist recognition. But the world wasn't ready for Connie Converse. Unlike the folk revivalists who would emerge in the 1960s, there was no place for her sound in the popular music of the 1950s. She tried to get her music noticed, but there were no takers. Eventually, the weight of rejection became too much. By the early 1960s, she had left New York and moved to Ann Arbor, Michigan, where she took on more of a conventional life as an editor and researcher. While she excelled in her new career, there was a growing sense of dissatisfaction. She wrote to a friend about feeling like she had failed in life. Her letters became darker, and her outlook more resigned. Then, in 1974, Connie had made a decision. She wrote letters to her family and friends, packed her belongings in a VW Beetle, and drove away. She was never seen again. For years, her family searched. A private investigator was even hired, but his response was quite simple. In a nutshell, it was, if she didn't want to be found, she had the right to disappear. And so, they stopped looking. There were whispers of a phone listing under the name of Elizabeth Converse in Kansas or Oklahoma, but no solid leads ever emerged. It's been over 50 years and no one knows what became of Connie Converse. Did she start a new life somewhere? Did she meet some kind of tragic end? The mystery remains. But the story doesn't end there. Decades after she vanished, Connie's music resurfaced in 2004. A radio program played her songs, sparking newfound interest in her work. In 2009, a compilation album titled How Sad, How Lovely was released, finally giving her an audience she never had in her lifetime. Today, her music resonates with listeners around the world. Her haunting melodies and poetic lyrics capture something timeless. The feeling of being on the outside looking in, of longing for something just outside of reach. Connie Converse may have disappeared, but her music lives on. In every wistful note, in every quiet strum of the guitar, her voice lingers. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what she wanted. In the description box below, there will be a link to Connie's music. And please like, share, and subscribe to our channel to hear more interesting stories like this. We appreciate you sitting in on Beneath the Waves, and we hope to see you again.
See that sunset.